Hard Boys Ultimate Fighter Live winner Michael Chiesa returning here. He's the -135 favorite against Anthony Showtime Pettis. Pettis plus 105 right now. So I think at times Pettis has been favored depending on where you look, but at least for our purposes, we will proceed with Chiesa as the favorite. Dallas, which way you going, Michael Chiesa or Anthony Showtime Pettis?
To me, this is sort of the standard grappler or striker matchup. I mean, Showtime has improved wrestling thanks to Izzy's style, and he could keep the fight standing. Even if you take him down, it's very hard to submit him. I think he'll be able to get back to his feet, and I'm just not convinced that the Showtime magic is gone. I'm going with Pettis for the win to get back inside the top 10 at lightweight.
All right, Pettis at plus 105 for Dallas. So Kenny, Chiesa's been out since that fight in Oklahoma City, the main event against Kevin Lee. That was all the way back in June of last year. Pettis has dropped 2 of 3, the last of which the main event to Dustin Poirier in November. Another close fight here at 155, Flo. Who do you like?
And this one concerns me and might be concerning for the Pettis camp here because Chiesa is a grinder. And Pettis has had trouble with guys that try to wrestle him and try to grind him down. But I do think that Pettis has improved his wrestling. I do think he has a huge advantage on the feet against Chiesa. Chiesa is very tall, though. But I think with Chiesa coming out, and he's a southpaw, right?
Yes.
So I think that is going to be trouble for him. I think Pettis does very well against other southpaws. So I'm going to go with Showtime here.
All right, Showtime Pettis for Ken Flo as well. Every time Michael Chiesa fights, I have to read what is my all-time favorite tweet from Jeff Gallo, May 23rd, 2014, from UFC 173. Michael Chiesa looks like he's been living on a bus in Alaska eating poisonous plants.
That is a reference to McCandless, I think, in that book. What is that? Into the Wild? Into the Wild, yes.
Yeah, the hashtags Into the Wild, Big
funny.
Hard Sun. So I didn't even know the reference, right?
Yes.
But he does at times look like he has been living on a bus eating poisonous plants, but he's cleaned up his act a little bit, so doesn't look like he's been eating poison anymore. All right. As has the former champion, Joanna Jedrzejczyk, about her weight-cutting issues. She has employed the likes of George Lockhart and Daniel Leith. She is at 122.5 pounds, 10 or 11 days out. All good signs. The question is, Dallas, who leaves Brooklyn as the UFC's strawweight champion?
You know, I'm really pumped for this rematch. I know Joanna is saying her weight cut had a lot to do with the loss, but I think that Rose really mastered that Cheddar Whitman striking system, and bad weight cut or not, I think Lightning's going to strike twice. Doug Rose will win by knockout again, this time in the second round. And I know DC is not on the broadcast, so it leaves it up to you, John, to those Doug Rose chants.
I'll see what I can do. I will see what I can do. Rose Namajunas, round 2 TKO for Dallas. Ken Flo, the rematch here. They fought for the first time in November. They do it again here in a few short days. Which side you want?
Man, my heart breaks here for this one. As I really like both these girls. Rose Namajunas especially, just as nice and as sweet as a person as they come. Listen, I think we will end up seeing a trilogy fight between these women. I do think Joanna Jedrzejczyk will win this fight. I think it's going to be a close one. I think she wins by decision. Something just wasn't right in Joanna, and that doesn't mean Namajunas can't beat her again. I think Namajunas absolutely has the skills to beat Joanna Jedrzejczyk, either on the feet or on the ground. Namajunas certainly has the advantage on the mat. She's much better with her submissions there. I think for Joanna Jedrzejczyk, though, a couple things. She didn't have the best weight cut in that fight, and she very much is that kind of fighter that once she gets into her rhythm, she just starts to pull away from you. She never was able to get into her rhythm. Rose Namajunas' pressure was the main cause for that, but also she just was not moving with the same speed. She wasn't throwing the same combinations. Her head didn't seem right heading into this one. I think Joanna gets the win by decision here, as much as that breaks my heart here.
And I've said I'm just looking forward to 25 minutes potentially in a championship fight because I think it would be wildly entertaining. And, we'll see. I thought most telling from our conversation with Mike Brown last week was when he was talking about Joanna Jedrzejczyk. He said most fighters wouldn't have even made weight. And when you talk about the percentage of her body weight.
16 pounds in a day, dude. That was more than what I did at 145, I think.
It's nuts, the percentage of her body weight. We'll see. Rose Namajunas trying to make it 2 straight over the former strawweight queen. And then Alex Caceres, -140. Artem Lobov, +110. Dallas, make the 10th one count, kid. Who do you like?
I'm taking the underdog, the GOAT, as they call him, the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, I'm taking Artem Lobov to get back.
Oh, yes. The Siberian Express, Artem Lobov, Kenflo, Lobov, Caceres.
Nice and flowy, Artem. Nice and flowy, Artem. I'm gonna go with Artem Lobov as well. Damn it, Dallas.
How about it?
Hey, listen, Anik, we're never having Dallas on the show ever again. How's that? He's too good.
Well, no, I think
he's
great
too
minds.
good, dude.
Great minds. Start first fight out of the shoot on pay-per-view. We talked about it with Ray Longo. Ally Aquinta right now, the -135 favorite. Paul Felder, slight underdog, +105. Felder, as many of you know, has won 3 straight, all by knockout, 5 of 6 overall. Iaquinta has won his last 5. Dallas, who do you like here? Close fight, at least on paper, Ally Aquinta or Paul Felder?
Well, both these guys are great strikers with knockout power. I've been looking forward to this matchup since they first tried to book it at 218. To me, Felder has more weapons that he can utilize in the striking department. I love all the guys coming out of Cerro Longo, but I'm going with the dog, Felder. Cerro Longo, he might have me thrown out of New York.
I know. I mean, not standing by your fellow New Yorkers. Maybe you'll be rooting for Iaquinta, but hopefully you're rooting with your pick. It is Felder at +105. Kenny, obviously, if I was giving you $100 to go to the betting window, it's a little bit different than in our scoring system. You do get 2 points for Felder, just 1 for Iaquinta. I don't know if that sways you. How do you see this fight playing out?
This is a tough one. I really love both these guys. I think Iaquinta probably punches harder. I think he's a guy that, if he goes forward, is really going to pose a lot of problems for Felder. Felder has more weapons, though, in my mind. And what really concerns me is that knee injury of Iaquinta. He's been dealing with it. It's one of those things I feel like that, I don't know, it could go at any time. And Felder, with those leg kicks and the way he likes to crush that lead leg, I don't know. I think I got to give the advantage there to Felder. I'm a little worried about the health of Iaquinta. Both these guys can win this fight. It's a close one, but I'm gonna give the nod to Felder here.
Sure, bout guys on the main card here at featherweight. Boston's Calvin Kattar, Brazil's Renato Moicano. Kattar right now -155. Comeback on Moicano at +125. Kattar, a win over Shane Burgos earlier this year in his native Massachusetts, his 10th in a row. He is 18-2, 2-0 in the UFC. Moicano 11-1-1. Dallas, lone professional loss to Brian T. City Ortega. Dallas, who's it going to be here, Moicano or Kattar?
You know, I see Moicano trying to keep this fight at range with some leg kicks, body kicks, but Kattar's much more technical. He really impressed me with that third-round finish of Shane Burgos. I'm going to go with the favorite this time, picking Calvin Kattar.
Calvin Kattar, the pick to click for Dallas. Kenny, for me, it's still kind of hard to quantify how high the ceiling is for Calvin Kattar because he just has this bulk of regional experience. So far, so good in the big show, but I would think his toughest test to date here against the Brazilian.
Well, Dallas needs to stop having these great picks here because I'm going to go with Calvin Kattar as well. He impressed the hell out of me against Burgos. Burgos is a tough out for anybody. Tall for the division, tricky and slick fighter, a guy who really knows how to stay composed. And Kattar, I think, is really coming into his own, man. I think that win over Burgos gave him even more confidence. I see him taking Moicano out on the feet.
Now some quick picks here. So no analysis needed. Certainly feel free to give your 2 cents if you've got something or if you're particularly strong on one side or you feel convicted, by all means, Dallas. But otherwise, we just want winners here. Karolina Kowalkiewicz -185. Felice Herrig +150. Herrig has won 4 in a row. Never been closer to a title shot than she is right now. Kowalkiewicz and Felice Herrig. Dallas, who do you like?
Too much high-level experience. I'm going Kowalkiewicz.
Kowalkiewicz for Dallas. Ken Flo, your thoughts?
All right, I got to go the opposite way here. I need one to go the other way than Dallas, so I'm going to go with Felice here.
And I would think some value there, +150. So this one at flyweight, Ray Borg -270, Brandon Moreno +210. I mean, I love me some Ray Borg, Dallas, but this line seems a bit wide to me. I mean, Moreno can do some things. Who do you like here in this one?
You know, they both scramble a lot, and you're right, he can definitely do some things, but I'm still going with Ray Borg. I feel like he's going to catch him in a submission.
Ken Flo, Borg, Moreno, which way you going?
I like both these guys. I really like Moreno, great kid. I just think Borg is a little bit sharper on the mat.
All right, Evan Dunham has not lost since 2014, coming off a draw against Beneil Dariush. He was to face Mairbek Taisumov this weekend. Instead, the relatively short-notice replacement, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, ends up being a bigger fight, I think, according to a lot of people, certainly in Canada. Dunham minus 135. OAM is plus 105. Dallas, who do you like?
I'm going with the dog, OAM.
Ken Flo, you know Aubin-Mercier pretty well. Obviously, yep. Dunham and you were in the UFC at the same time. What do you think here?
Geez, this is a tough one. I think OAM has some good takedowns, might have the advantage there. I think Dunham is very seasoned. The question is he too seasoned? Has he been fighting for too long? I think he still has it in him, though. I'm going to go with Evan Dunham here.
All right, and last two quick fellas. Joe Lozon, minus 175. Chris Gritzmacher, plus 145. Dallas.
I'm taking Joe Lozon.
Lozon, Ken Flo, any lean there? Lozon, Gritzmacher?
Yeah, going with Lozon, going with the Boston boy.
Octagon News.